Peace to the galaxy, it's your boy Supreme, and this is Invader Talk, a podcast for millennials and Gen Zs to bridge the gap between tribes by learning through one another. So today, I'm here with my girl, R.Sen.
Hi, how are
What's
you?
up? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad that we get to chop it up today. So let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. You're a poet, but I can't say it as good as you. So can you give the people a quick introduction of R.Sen?
Sure, it's going to be super quick. I'm a spoken word artist and also an accidental poet.
Accidental?
That's what I say because I started when I was like 16. I didn't even know I was a poet.
Yeah.
And then now I'm here. And I also wrote this book right here. Of course, I had to bring it because shameless plot.
Oh, yeah, that's dope.
Introspectrum.
Introspectrum.
I wrote this year, so.
Okay, so spoken word, you wrote a book. What's the book? All right, let's break it. Let's unpack it.
Okay.
So
there's a lot.
Okay, we got a little bit of time. No, we got a lot of time. Let's go. Let's start with spoken word. How did you get into spoken word?
Spoken word was it's actually new. I kind of stumbled across it as late as like the week before everything shut down. I went to my first open mic and I keep joking and telling people I was so good I shut the whole world down.
Maybe that's the truth. Speak it up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep saying that. So and then I stuck with it. I kept doing virtuals and now I perform all the time. So I've been performing for about a year and a half. But I've been writing for 20 years.
Ooh, okay.
As a secret. I didn't tell anybody I wrote about it until one day I was in a yoga class at this coffee station that had the open mic, and they were like, "You should come," and I'm like, "I don't have anything to perform."
But you had your whole ghostwrite in the back. Yeah.
And I was like, "Wait, but I write a little poetry. It's not. I don't know if anybody will like receive it properly." And they're like, "Who cares? Just come. You have to like just dive into it."
Yeah.
And so I'm like, "Okay." They convinced me enough to go, and yes, it seems to be getting blessed to be really well received so far.
So you've been writing for a long time. And then somebody pushed you to go ahead and do it.
Yep.
What was that like? The thing that you feel like was really holding you back the whole time?
Me, I think I'm my biggest critic, and I talk myself out of everything all the time. Up until maybe I would say up until 2015, I started taking more risks and doing things. But I talk myself out of everything at all times.
I feel like that's the biggest problem with a lot of people is just believing that they can do it, believing that they dope. And I want to tell you dope, off the rip, just because I feel like people don't be just genuinely telling people that they're dope.
I appreciate that.
It's dope, and I respect you just pursuing anything, because a lot of people don't even have the courage to pursue anything. They just want to be critics and just be sitting on the couch. But
yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to be up here, I always used to watch people perform. I can talk. Spoken word artists who can't talk. But I used to watch people perform all the time and be like, I want to do that. And then I was like, why not? And now I'm here. Yeah. So finally I just did it.
So writing, and then you ended up writing a book from spoken word.
Yeah, it was really cool. This whole year and a half of however long this pandemic has been going on.
Yeah, the new world order. Yeah.
Huge whirlwind.
Yeah.
A lot of great opportunities have come out of it for me because I connected with a lot of great people, but also at the same time, a lot of other things have happened, but,
So it's just
best of it.
What is your book about?
So my book is actually a poetry book. It's very funny because my spoken word is all about social justice, and I'll be love yourself and all that.
Okay.
So this book is about heartbreak
Okay.
and love. So this is the only time that I was that vulnerable with anyone. So that's definitely my book is my heart and my baby.
Where can people get the book?
You can get it on Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com, TonyInc.com.
Okay. And you saying you're doing spoken word online too? Where can anybody tap into some of your spoken word?
Yeah, so on Instagram, I post all the time at R.Sen The Poet, and I also have my own YouTube, so you can go check that out.
Okay, make sure you tap in. So let's get into a little bit of what you said. Social justice is what you be talking about. What got you into that?
I've always how do I put this? I've always had an opinion that I didn't know how to express, but I always used to write everything down. Since I was 16, anytime I had any kind of feeling about anything, I've always written it down. And then when pandemic hit, I was I have a lot of stuff to say about what's going on, especially when the movement was occurring and should still be continuing to occurring, but not at the same, levels.
I think that pandemic, like I was saying before, like it just pushed a lot of people into like their brain into different modes.
Yeah.
And they had like new thoughts that they never had ever. You know what I'm saying? So, what's the biggest thing you learned in that? Aside from that, you could do spoken word.
The biggest thing for me was like, you just like like I told you before, I'm the oldest person here. First of all, okay. But like, there's never a bad time to start anything, and there's never a bad time to just go in for it, because you never know when you'll lose that opportunity. So you've got to seize it while it exists.
Yeah, definitely, and you don't got to worry about age. I think it's like this. You just got more time. I think you should say it more like that. Look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been both playing basketball, and I'm more, got more time in. I'm oftentimes better than you. So you should look at it like that instead of feeling like, you're the oldest person here. You should say you're the wisest.
Yes, I'm the wisest.
Or, you know what I'm saying? You got more wisdom than some other people. You know what I'm saying?
I'll go with that.
Yeah, okay. So let's take away from spoken word a little bit. You talking about social justice and the pandemic. That's all, real stuff, real life anxiety. Let's go away. Let's say you're on an island and you're on a perfect island that you created. What are you taking on the island? You can take 3 things.
Perfect island that I created?
Yeah.
There will definitely be dogs there. I have an obsession with dogs.
Okay. I love dogs too. I love animals too. I can talk to dogs.
Yeah, me too. I feel like I have a connection with them.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
They're also just so pure. You're like, yeah, that's what I want. There will definitely be dogs. And of course, food, water, and all the basics.
Yeah.
And
but you can't bundle up food and water. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to just say like water.
Okay. Food and water.
Okay.
Food, water, and dogs. Apparently, that's my 3 critical things to live.
Food, water, and dogs. Okay, that's a dope list. Let me ask you. Let me see. Okay, this is a good one. You talking about social justice? I think this is a good. Okay. So social media is like a crazy new world. I remember just being when MySpace was popping and when Facebook first started, and then now it's to this crazy game. Right. It's a psychological game. It's all type of this and that, people faking it. But what do you think it's doing to people mentally? Do you think we should control it or censor it more or monitor it more? Or what do you think?
I mean, I don't think that we control it anymore, honestly.
Okay.
Because I feel like we were just having this discussion before where I was saying we're so busy meeting people instead of knowing people, and I think social media has a lot to do with that, where we're so busy, especially people who are trying to make a name for themselves, they're so busy getting the follower count that they forget to give value to their followers, and it just becomes how do I become viral instead of just being an authentic movement. And so I see the beauty of social media, but I think we've lost the appreciation for it.
Yeah, I think that it's not really necessarily our fault. We getting programmed by social media at the same time. You're saying we can't really stop it. People talk about artificial intelligence. I say artificial intelligence already here. It just don't got a body yet. They just waiting on us to build the perfect Iron Man suit that they can jump into, and then you got Instagram in a robot coming to get you and that know all your secrets and everything that you're doing.
They already know everything.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed how you're say something and then all of a sudden a Google ad will pop up for what you're I was the other day I was I'm thinking about getting I think it was something related to a mixer maybe, and then mixer popped up on my search in my Instagram searches, and I was like, what the hell? How did you know?
It is. They always listen, and that's why I don't mess with Alexa and Alexa or Siri, none of that. But let me ask you about this. So, you said you were writing for a long time, and you talked about, you just spoke people are just making content just to make content now, but you were writing for a long time and you weren't trying to monetize it at all. What about writing really just made you do it for free?
It's my release. Mental health is a big thing for me.
Okay.
And then I will say that although the South Asian community, I'm Indian, and the Indian community, although they're better with mental health now, it was always something that was very overlooked and taboo to even talk about. So I felt when I was growing up that a lot of the mental struggles that I had were being judged and criticized, and if I vocalized them, so I just went to writing because that's where I was not going to be judged. It's my safe space. So I did that for a long time for myself, and then I realized, wow, I could actually use this to be a voice for people, and then I moved into social justice pieces and stuff like that.
So you realize that you could inspire people by just getting over your own fear.
Yeah, vulnerability is so powerful, and I think people overlook it.
I agree. I think it's like that's because people are always judging, so it's kind of hard to like show who you really are, because then you think you might get like, I guess, caught lacking or whatever by somebody else if you just being too soft or too open. Right. And I think that people need to. Right now, social media is putting us in that little space because we're always comparing our lifestyle to what, you know, this rapper's doing or our friends are doing, and it's really taking a toll on our mental health. I feel like it's important to just turn it off sometimes.
Yes, I absolutely agree.
And okay, so you agree. What are you doing when you're turning that off to, like, other than writing? Like, are you doing any type of meditation, yoga? What you doing?
I'm super highly spiritual because, okay, not to be like TMI, but need this background information too. So like in 2015 I was diagnosed with PTSD after being assaulted. So I really know what it means to lose yourself and almost lose your life also as a result of losing yourself. So I'm always someone who like needs to tap in with themselves, and I got into meditation and yoga as a result of that. And now I see how social media, like as I'm trying to like grow my following and have people like really know my poetry, I see how social media can really just like bring you back into a really like depressed state. You're like, oh, you expect something and the reality is not where you're coming, because you want the Insta of the Instagram, right?
Yeah, that dopamine rush, that instant, oh, they like me. Yeah.
So then you're like, oh, now it's slowing down. Oh, they don't like me anymore. But like, it's not like that, right? You have to like. So shutting down for me is a big thing because it's like my own personal recharge. My batteries run low otherwise.
Okay, I'm the same way. I got like, once I go out for like a little bit, then I got to definitely spend like the rest of the 2 days by myself. And it's not even like a personal thing. It's just like how I feel like each person you meet is an exchange of energy.
Absolutely.
And whether it be good or bad, you can learn from each situation, because the situations create energies as well. You know, and they stick to you.
Yeah, they really do.
Now, can I ask you about spirituality? You say you're deep into that. Me too. I guess I would say I'm kind of tapped in. What would you say somebody? Because it said spirituality found you. It seems like what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely. Because I would say I don't actually consider myself religious. I wouldn't say religious, but I do think that there is like a higher source that helps you to like heal, and you can go to get the right energies to heal yourself, right? So. What I was gonna say.
I was gonna ask you, what would you say to someone who is trying to like find spirituality, or like, you know, or is maybe in that low place in their life? Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first thing you have to do before you even go into spirituality is see look within. Like you have to look in to see like what is it that you will make you happy. What is it that peace means to you? That's where I started. I was like, what makes me feel peaceful? This is the situation. And then I realized, oh, okay, if I for me it was sitting in a hammock. It brings me the most peace ever. So I sat in a hammock, and then I was like, oh, okay, if I'm going to sit here for hours, I started putting on meditation music. And then I started looking at meditation videos, and that's how I just like started going into it. And then I realized meditations and all that allows me to think higher too.
Yes.
And
boom. Yeah. Okay, yeah, definitely. That's why it's important to have that daily routine. I always stress this, finding out like, it seems like you are good at finding out what like gets you in your bag. I kind of got jolted into it. Yeah.
But yeah.
So, if you had a superpower, what would your superpower be?
Oh, damn. Superpower. See, I think I would want to be. I was going to say telepathic, but also I don't know that I want to know everyone's thoughts all the time.
I don't know. I'll just get on Twitter.
Right. That's true. We already have that superpower. But I would say maybe invisibility, to see how people are actually organically behave.
I mean, so you would just stalk people? You would just go invisible so
just
you could just see people like...
You can't see me.
You wouldn't even go rob a bank or nothing like that? You would just watch people with it? Okay. That's a little bit who you are.
Okay. I'm not a creep, I said.
No, that's fine.
Maybe I am. I don't know.
Now, I really appreciate you for talking with me today.
Thank you. And
can you tell anybody that's watching this video where they can check you out one more time, and any last messages that you might have?
Sure. You can follow me on Instagram at R.Sen The Poet. And like I was saying before, it's never too late to go for what you want, because what you want is your calling, and you should always follow your calling. Pick up that phone.
Pick it up. It's my girl, R.Sen. It's your boy
you.
Supreme, and we out.